What's up, everybody? If you don't know this about me, I am a big Quentin Tarantino fan. I've seen all of his major movies that were, backed by studios or picked up by studios. So yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of his work, and not just his directing, but his writing as well. And that's why I'm calling this video Quentin Tarantino related Funko Pops that should be made, because it's not going to be just directly about his work. Some of it will relate to like his collaborations as well, and you'll see that as I get into this. Now, before I can get to his characters, I do want to focus on Quentin Tarantino himself, because obviously there should be a Quentin Tarantino pop figure. Now, I know that technically there is in a way, because he did play the character of Jimmy from Pulp Fiction. I'm not necessarily a fan of that pop, though. I think it looks way too plain Jane. It doesn't really look like him. It doesn't really represent him enough for me, so that's why I think he deserves a director pop, and Funko has started to do that. They have director pops. They've done a couple, and they got some more on the way. So yeah, I don't see why he would have an issue with him being represented, as a director pop, since he has some of his characters as pops anyway. So hopefully that's something that can happen. Hopefully there won't be any issues with because of all the drama with the Weinstein Company and all of that. But yeah, and that's one thing that kind of worries me with more characters coming from his movies, because of all that drama with the Weinsteins. And I'm not trying to belittle that drama, because it's really disgusting, some of the things that have happened there with Harvey Weinstein. But I just hope that doesn't affect the potential for more of these characters being represented by figures in the future. But anyway, as far as his pop is concerned, I would probably like to see him holding this old school camera that you see here. I want to say that's 8mm. I'm not 100% sure, but the way he's holding it, almost like it's a weapon, I think that would be cool. If you put him in a suit, then I mean, you're kind of covering not only him, but a lot of the characters that he's played, because he's been in a good number of movies, especially his own movies, and a lot of times he is wearing a suit, so that would make sense. But now, of course, I do realize that he did play a character in Reservoir Dogs. I'd be perfectly fine with him being part of the Reservoir Dogs line. Now, people have been asking me what happened with the Reservoir Dogs pops, because there was this concept art that I don't know if it leaked out or if it was actually officially put out by Funko. I want to say it was officially put out, but I don't know what happened with those. I don't know if they got pushed back, if they're still on the way, or if they were completely canceled. I really don't know. But fingers crossed that these will happen. So you see here they had the concept art for Mr. White, Mr. Blonde, and Mr. Pink. And I really think they nailed the poses for all of them. I like Mr. White with the two guns, Mr. Blonde with the razor and holding the cop's ear, which is, create that crazy scene, that infamous scene. And even Mr. Pink, just the way he's holding his hands there, I really do like that as well. And when it actually is a reference to the movie as well. So yeah, I'm really hoping that Reservoir Dogs pops do happen. I do feel though that they need to have at least one more character, and that is Mr. Orange. I mean, he was the main character in the movie. And especially now that we've seen that they can do Funko Pops that are basically laying down on their side. I mean, they could do Mr. Orange that way with the blood on him and the gun in hand, because he actually was stuck in that position for a good majority of the movie. So I think that would work as a pop figure. They probably would have to take it kind of easy on the blood. But then again, I don't know. I mean, they did the Carrie pop figure, even though I know that was pig's blood and there's a difference. But still, yeah, Mr. Orange needs to be represented. So I'm not sure if everybody is aware of this or not, but Quentin Tarantino, he actually did write the script for True Romance. He didn't direct it. Tony Scott directed it, but yeah, he did write the script, and he actually did a commentary for this movie as well. And he said that he feels like it's his most personal movie, just because of the time in his life when he wrote it, and how certain aspects of it, I guess, related to his life at that time, and also reminds him of his friends and everything. So I think that's pretty cool, and I definitely would like to see Clarence and Alabama as pop figures. They have these very loud, kind of garish outfits, that I think would work really well for pop figures. Now, as far as other characters from the movie, I really don't know if Funko would do that or not, but I definitely would like to see Drexel Spivey. That is one of Gary Oldman's best performances, even though he essentially only had maybe 2 scenes. Still amazing. If you've never seen that performance, you definitely got to check it out. You would not even believe that it is Gary Oldman, because he's just so different. But also Brad Pitt had a small role in the film as the character Floyd. Now, if they could do Floyd, that'd be cool. I don't know if like I said, if they would go there, but it would be cool to see him, and also maybe Well, I don't think they would mess with drug paraphernalia. I was about to say him with the little honey bear, but I don't think they would go there, But yeah, that'd be kind of cool. But like I said, mainly Clarence and Alabama. I need to see those. Now, obviously, I'm going to address Pulp Fiction because that's his most well-known movie, his most successful movie, I would say, in terms of, the critics looking at it and everything, and just the longevity of it as well. So obviously, there have been some pop figures already, and you see them here, including Mia Wallace, Jimmy, Jules, Vincent, and Butch as well. I don't know why sometimes, though, when I see images relating to the Pulp Fiction pops, they don't always have Butch along with them. I don't know if he was produced afterwards or what happened there. Then, of course, there's a blood-splattered variant of Jules and Vincent as well. I actually own the Jules pop. I used to have the Vincent one, but honestly, the Vincent one, to me, it looked kind of plain Jane. And then also the one I had, I actually found more than one, but each one of them had really bad paint jobs. So I ended up not keeping that one. And if I ever came across the blood-splattered one, I definitely would pick that up, but not really too worried about that. But regardless of all that, I definitely think there are some more pops that could be produced related to Pulp Fiction, including some of the main characters. So Vincent and Mia, I would definitely like to see them like as the "it's not a date," type pops where they were dressed to go out together. It's become pretty much a meme of Vincent when he came into the house and he was pretty much out of it. If you've seen the movie, you know why. But just Vincent with the coat over his arm and maybe his other hand kind of stretched out to the side, like showing that confusion. Yeah, that would be cool. And then Mia, dressed for the date, well, the not date, with her jacket on. That would be all right. And they could do a chase of Mia. I know this would be kind of crazy, but they could do a chase of Mia with the needle in her chest. Again, if you've seen the movie, you know what that's all about. Now, if Funko didn't want to do those, then they could also do Vincent and Mia when they did the dance contest. That would make a great 2-pack. You put them in a dance pose. I would like to even see them having like facing each other in the box, the way that people actually dance, So yeah, I really hope that Funko would do something more with Vincent and Mia. And then of course there are other characters, but I'm still focusing on the main characters for a moment here. Vincent and Jules wearing Jimmy's clothes. That would be pretty funny as well. And they could be separate or as a 2-pack, either way would work, but I definitely would like to see those. I do want to point out before I mention the other characters, I would like to see that with the reaction figures that Funko used to produce, and I know they still produce figures, but they've kind of changed things up. But the reaction figures actually had a lot more characters from the movie, which I think was kind of interesting. But yeah, I definitely would like to see Mr. Wolf. I think Mr. Wolf is a cool character. He probably would need to have the coffee cup in hand to kind of distinguish him more. The Gimp would be crazy to see. Marcellus Wallace, and I'd like to actually see Marcellus Wallace instead of holding a gun like you see with the reaction figure. I'd actually like to have him with the donut box and the coffee on top of it, which, by the way, that might be one of the little plot holes in that movie, just because of how powerful Marcellus Wallace seemed to be. It just doesn't seem like he would go out and get his own donuts and coffee, but that's a little nitpick. But yeah, that's the way I would like to see the pop design though. And then also Pumpkin and Honey Bunny. I mean, come on, I definitely would like to see them as well. They really helped to kind of frame the story that was going on. So yeah, definitely would like to see more Pulp Fiction pops. Now, Natural Born Killers is another movie that was not directed by Quentin Tarantino. It was actually directed by Oliver Stone. And honestly, I was shocked to find this out. Quentin Tarantino is actually not a fan of the movie, even though he did write the script. But regardless of that, even though he's not a fan of it, I definitely would like to see a Natural Born Killers 2-pack featuring Mickey and Mallory. And they had a lot of different costumes within the movie, some pretty cool looks to them. So it doesn't matter to me, what the costumes are. I would just like to see Mickey and Mallory. I'm a fan of that movie. Now, I know with this next entry that I'm stretching a little bit because Quentin Tarantino, he basically just had like an acting role in this movie, Desperado. He only had maybe, I think, just one or two scenes. But yeah, so he didn't direct it. I don't think he even produced it or anything like that. But still, regardless, I said Quentin Tarantino related, so that's why I'm putting this one in the mix. I think there definitely should be an El Mariachi pop figure, and definitely got to have that guitar case with him. Now, as far as any other characters, probably not completely necessary. I mean, I did like Danny Trejo's character in the movie. He was an assassin with throwing knives, but you know, I'll mention Danny Trejo later on in this video. So yeah, if they just did El Mariachi, I think that would be pretty cool, and I still wouldn't mind seeing that character make a comeback. Now, from Dusk Till Dawn, of course, I got to address this as well. And again, Quentin Tarantino had an acting role. He did not direct this, but, you know, he frequently collaborates with Robert Rodriguez, who directed this movie. And there is so much potential with From Dusk Till Dawn. It's definitely a movie that has held up over the years. It had straight-to-video sequels, and then it also had, it launched a TV series as well. So definitely got to have Seth and Richard Gecko, the brothers. And I got to say, too, I think this was probably Quentin Tarantino's best acting role. Let's be real, he's not the greatest actor, but I think he did a really solid job within this movie. And I would like to see a vampire variant of his character as well, the vampire Richie. And then, like I said, there are some other characters in the movie that would be cool pops as well, but in my opinion, get the brothers right first and then worry about any other characters. Jackie Brown, I don't think this is like one of his most popular movies, but I think it's a really solid movie. And yeah, I really like Pam Grier, her role in the movie. She did a great job, and they could definitely do a her in her flight attendant's outfit, or her when she went shopping and she bought the new black coat that she liked and everything, and give her a gun. Either way would be cool. And Ordell Roby, played by Samuel L. Jackson, I think is one of his best characters. Definitely has a unique look going on. I love him rocking the Kango and that the crazy long kind of beard he has twisted up and all of that. Yeah, they could just really do some interesting things with that pop, basically. So yeah, those are the main two characters I like to see from this movie. I know there are some other characters that are pretty cool within the movie, but mainly those two are the ones that should be produced, in my opinion. Now with Kill Bill, there are Kill Bill pops, of course. I used to own The Bride and Go-Go, and I actually passed up O-Ren. I kind of regretted that, but in the long run, I really don't regret it anymore, because I feel like the pops are just way too plain looking, and I know that some of them have some value to them, especially O-Ren and the blood splatter Go-Go. Those are pretty valuable, but in The Bride as well. Actually, The Bride I think is up to like $65 or so. But I didn't keep those in my collection. Like I said, I just thought they were too plain, and I really don't regret that. But I still would like to see more characters produced based off of Kill Bill. For one thing, of course, they did The Bride and they did Bill, but I would like to see them in their outfits from like their final showdown, and either give Bill a sword or give him that tranquilizer dart gun that he had. Either way would be cool. And with the passing of the actor David Carradine, I believe is his name, I don't know if they could use his likeness again, but it would be cool if they could. And of course, the Bride rocking that outfit that she wore, and she would definitely need to have her her Hanzo, was it Hanzo Hattori sword? Yeah, she would definitely need to have that with her. And Elle Driver, I cannot believe they did not make Elle Driver the first time around. Her in the nurse's outfit, that would be money, or her in the outfit where she fought the bride, that would work too. Either one of those or both. Better yet, both of them. Maybe make the nurse one like a store exclusive or something. That would be cool. Bud, I like Bud as well. I thought he was even though he's a bad guy, and really almost everybody in the movies, in these movies were bad guys pretty much, but I thought Bud was somewhat sympathetic, because you saw that the guy wasn't living the best life, definitely was not happy. And then Vernita Green as well. Vernita Green is another one that I would be cool with seeing. So yeah, there's definitely more potential for Kill Bill. And I know there are some other characters that people might like to see, including Pai Mei. The only reason I'm not saying Pai Mei is because there actually is a Pop Asia exclusive that is pretty much Pai Mei. So because that's a character that appears throughout movies. That's why Quentin Tarantino used that character. He's a character that just pops up in different movies. So yeah, I don't really necessarily think they have to do one for Kill Bill, but I definitely want to hear your ideas though, what else you would like to see from the Kill Bill movies. Also, I'm going to say this before I move on. Let me know, do you think that whether or not you think there should be a Kill Bill 3? I would so be down for it. Quentin Tarantino has talked about it before. Seems like he's kind of let go of the idea, but I would still love to see it. And he even mentioned that he basically wanted to see Vernita Green's daughter come back for revenge against the bride, which I think is a brilliant idea. So we'll see what happens with that, but let me know what you think about it. So again, here I'm stretching a little bit, I'm reaching just a little bit here, but Quentin Tarantino, he did direct a portion of the first Sin City movie. In other words, the good Sin City movie. So yeah, there really need to be Sin City pops. I just don't know why there aren't any, because there's so many great character designs there. And I'm not even gonna name off like every single character I'd like to see. I would just say the majority of the cast, because they just have a great look to them. Like Marv, Hardigan, that yellow. You know I keep it clean on my channel, but yeah, there's so many great character designs. So yeah, I really hope that Funko gets around to doing these someday. Now with Death Proof, which you know, that was Quentin Tarantino's portion of Grindhouse. I'm not gonna just focus on that though. I really think that from Planet Terror there should at least be El Rey and Cherry Darling. And Cherry Darling with that you know, with that machine gun leg, that would be an incredible pop to see. That one really needs to happen. You know, it really needs to happen. But I really think just those two characters from Planet Terror would be all right. No, I don't think in terms of design that the other characters would be too interesting. And then from Death Proof, you know, like I was about to say, which was directed by Quentin Tarantino, Stuntman Mike. Gotta have Stuntman Mike with that icy hot jacket on. And it would be even cooler if they actually did a Stuntman Mike Pop Ride or Pop Deluxe. You know, either way, that would be awesome. And then of course with Grindhouse, they did have some basically fake movie trailers, even though Machete ended up panning out to be the real deal, you know, a real movie. But yeah, a Machete pop figure would be very cool as well. That's another one that could be done as a pop ride, because he did have that very awesome motorcycle with the Gatling gun on the front, or minigun, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that'd be very cool if that happened. I don't know, that one's probably kind of slim chances, but yeah, Danny Trejo deserves some love too. That man has done so many action movies. Next up here, Inglourious, again, I'm not gonna say the name, but you know what it is. Even though I know it was in the theaters and all of that, I just kind of watch my mouth on my channel. But this one I know is a bit complicated because of the nature of the movie, the setting, and then also some of the characters, especially Colonel Hans Landa. But that is just such an amazing character. Christopher Waltz played the character so well. Of course, if they did a pop of him, they'd have to be careful about the insignia that they put on his uniform and all of that, you know, because that gets a little bit touchy. But yeah, I would really like to see that character. And by the way, I know somebody might say, well, why do you want to see this character and you don't like the idea of a Hitler pop, which some people brought up before when I talked about historical pops that I would like to see. I think the difference is obvious. Hans Landa is a character. Hitler was a real person that did real atrocities, including mass murder. I don't know why anybody would think that that would be okay as a pop figure, and that Funko would be stupid enough to make that a pop figure of Hitler. I just don't get that, you know. But regardless of that, also from this movie, I would like to see Aldo Rain, of course, Brad Pitt's character, which was a brilliant character. Shosanna, she could be in a more casual outfit, or she could be you know, dressed up like she was for the finale of the movie, basically. And then of course Donnie Donowitz as well. And of course Eli Roth's character, they got to give him the bat. Oh, and with Aldo Rain, he's got to have that knife, you know. So those things that really are distinctive to the characters, I would really like to see those. And again, I don't know if Funko would go there or not. It seems like they would have done these by now if they were interested, but who knows. I'm still going to hold out some hope for them. Django Unchained is yet another one that's a bit touchy because of the setting, you know, the time period that it focuses on, and the subject matter, you know, involving slavery. But I was entertained by this movie. I mean, I understand some people not being comfortable with it, but I was entertained by it. I definitely liked the performances. Again, Christoph Waltz knocking it out of the park, winning another Oscar with Quentin Tarantino. You know, that was pretty cool. So there definitely needs to be a Django pop, Christoph Waltz character. And I think there should be an exclusive variant of Django rocking that blue suit. That would be pretty crazy to see. They also need to have, of course, his wife, you know, of course, I'm trying to remember her name now. I want to say Broomhilda. I think that was what it was. And then, you know, the other characters as well. Samuel L. Jackson's character, who was such an aggravating character, but, you know, he played his role well. And also Leonardo DiCaprio, I think, you know, it's cool that Christoph Waltz won the Oscar, but I really thought that Leonardo DiCaprio deserved more attention for this role. He was absolutely amazing in this movie, and I definitely would like to see a pop of him as well. So basically, these main characters, all these main characters from this movie, I think would be great as pop figures. Now, you will notice that I'm not really going to address Hateful Eight. There already are 4 Hateful Eight pops, and I know a lot of people look at it and at the title of the movie, and they're like, well, obviously there should be some more Pops. But for me, I think Hateful Eight was probably my least favorite Quentin Tarantino movie, so I'm just not a big fan of it, and that's why I'm not really too worried about more Pop figures coming from that movie. And if you're interested in those, that's perfectly fine. That's your opinion. But me personally, like I said, I'm not crazy about the movie. I didn't pick up any of the Pops. I'm not really worried about more Pops based off of that movie. But I definitely want to hear your thoughts about Quentin Tarantino, related Pop figures. Also, your thoughts about his movies as well, because there's been a lot of talk about his upcoming projects and what else he might do. He wants to direct a Star Trek movie. Definitely let me know what you think about that. I really cannot imagine him directing something like that. I think that would be kind of way out of his comfort zone. Even though he is a Trekkie, he is a fan of the series, but still, it's just, I don't know if I can imagine him doing that. There's been some talk too about him possibly doing some other genres, like maybe even getting into like doing a comic book style movie, which he said if he did that, he would do it with probably an original character. But definitely let me know what you think about that. Do you think he could pull that off? Again, me, I don't know, because I noticed that with his movies, he tends to do fewer scenes than most other directors do. Like, he tends to do fewer scenes, but scenes that are longer. So I just don't know how well that would really work for a comic book movie. M. Night Shyamalan basically pulled that off with Unbreakable, but that's a tough thing to do. So yeah, again, let me know what you think about Quentin Tarantino's work and what other projects you would like to see from him. I hope if you're a big Tarantino fan like me that you enjoyed this video. That's going to do it for now. I would definitely look forward to reading your comments, and I will talk to you all again real soon.